Hello everyone, this is my first video. Don't know what I'm doing. This is just going to be off the top of the head. I'm a 26-year-old male with a herniated L5-S1 disc with pain shooting down the left leg. So I'll give you a little bit of background information before I go into the surgery that I had this morning. As just some basic background information, I had the onset of my symptoms last February of 2023, so that would have been 1 year ago. It was gradual. I didn't pinpoint it to one exact circumstance or experience that had caused this. However, I am a nurse that works in the hospice field, so moving a lot of dead weight and corpses over to funeral homes, which, I maybe could attribute to my problems because I may not have had the best posture or form that I could have, which is unfortunate. But anyways, so over the next month or two, the pain became something more than just lower back pain. It kind of traveled down the left glute to the left leg, and had trouble sitting down for long periods of time. It would just kind of feel uncomfortable. It wasn't a whole lot of like 10 out of 10 pain or anything. And during that time, I was just using like Advil, naproxen. So I went to my doctor 2 months after it started, and I said all of my symptoms. He pressed around my spine with his fingers, and I didn't have any tenderness with that, which kind of told him that maybe it's not a disc issue. So we treated it as piriformis syndrome, where I was given stretches to do. And then I went to PT. So they sent me to PT for about 6 to 8 weeks. Not helpful. I think there's probably a flaw in that system. Nothing against physical therapists, of course, but they didn't know what was wrong. There was no imaging that was done up to this point. It was just more or less what the doctor had thought, which was piriformis syndrome. So at the time anyways. So this was just trial and error. Every week I went to PT, it was something different. We were trying to figure out what would help, what wouldn't. I understand that that's a fairly good system that works for them. So I went through with it. I saw it through, no relief. And there were even some days where they had me lifting dumbbells off the ground. Looking back on that, probably wasn't the best for my disc. But anyways, so as those couple months had went by, nothing helped. So I went back to my doctor. Doctor said, okay, well, we're going to try an oral steroid. Sounds good. Did meloxicam for 2 weeks. Nothing helped. And then after that didn't help, they got me my MRI and my x-ray, which showed bulging of the left side of the L5-S1 disc. And I also had a left hip labral tear. Not sure where that came from. Maybe, I don't know, whatever. So with that piece of information, he just kind of gave me stretches to do. And I didn't go back to PT. He just kind of wanted me to ride it out and see if it would go away on its own, like it does for 90% of people, especially my age. I stayed active through this all. I continued to go to the gym about 3, 4, 5 times a week, doing safe exercises, nothing that caused too much pain or discomfort in my lower back, because there were definitely times that had happened, and I learned my lesson, which was mainly just getting down on like a flat bench and doing bench press and shoulder press and things like that. So I stuck with cables. I stuck with the machines, things that I could tolerate really well, and had no issues with that. So over the summer, I started my conservative treatments, which, like I said, was PT. I tried the meloxicam. I tried cryotherapy, which didn't do anything, but it was kind of a cool experience either way. I tried massage therapy. I tried the inversion table, which I'll talk about a little bit later. I also did spinal decompression therapy through my chiropractic office, and that was interesting. Some days there was like a placebo effect maybe, other days it just did absolutely nothing for me. But I would recommend maybe trying that if you're in the stages of conservative treatment because I've heard it can help some people. So after I tried that, we're going into the fall, nothing's helped. I needed another MRI and imaging because I had just sought out this spine and neuro clinic within my area, and they wanted the imaging before they started to work with me. So I had my MRI done, and it was an L5-S1 herniated disc. They said it was mild to moderate. It wasn't like the end of the world, but of course, I'm having trouble sleeping at night. I can't sit for long periods of time. Things that really impede on your quality of life. And, you know, bending down to pick things up off the ground, I shouldn't have to worry about that at 26. So after I got my imaging back, they agreed to offer me a couple of things. Pretty much ride it out, which I had already been doing, and that was not going to be an option. Or I could do a epidural injection of a steroid. That kind of freaked me out a little bit, but I went through with it. So in December 19th of 2023, which is just a few months ago now, right? I went in and they gave me Versed to slightly sedate me, and it did absolutely nothing. And I had heard from other people this injection was not that bad. It was something that wasn't really that painful. It helped, but this was like one of the worst experiences of my life, and it was so painful. I could feel every time they put it in, and I was awake through the whole thing. You know, granted, I know they want you awake, but yeah, I would have loved to have the edge off for that. Anyways, it took 3 weeks for me to feel any effects from that steroid injection. So for those 3 weeks, I was like, damn, I wasted my money, which was like, you know, to be transparent, something around $1,100 after everything all said and done. It didn't do anything for me. So for 3 weeks, I was like, damn, wasted my time. But then after 3 weeks, I began to finally like be able to sleep better. So mid-January. However, during that time that nothing was really happening with me, I said, okay, I'm ready for surgery. Like, I just need to get this over with. I have a wedding planned for next May in 2025. So we went through with it, and we scheduled the date for February 20th of 2024, which is today. And so I worked till midnight last night, and I had to be in the clinic today by 6 a.m. Not too exciting. This is my first surgery ever, so it was very nerve-wracking. Before I went in, I asked for an anxiety medication. They gave me midazolam, which really helped take the edge off. And, you know, they wheeled me back into the OR and said sweet dreams, essentially. When I woke up, I guess I was being combative. Young males are usually a little tougher to wake up in the post-op area. So I gave them some trouble, but I woke up with just like a lot of stiffness in my lower back. I felt a little bit of the tingling, like in both feet bilaterally, but it was just a lot of stiffness in my lower back from this surgery, and I can still feel it right now. So, you know, they sent me back there and had me kind of recovering. I ate something. They gave me 2 Percocet, and a Flexeril and fentanyl because I was still in a little bit of pain. My dad was there with me and to bring me home. But I made sure that the medications were sent over to my pharmacy, my local pharmacy, because I do live 40 minutes away from the clinic I went to. But my mom is picking those up right now. I'm staying with my parents. I'm very fortunate that they live by me and that they're able to kind of help me out through this process. So I got back home around probably 11 a.m., slept on and off until about 12:30, sitting on the couch, and now I'm kind of walking around, as you can see. I do find myself kind of shuffling my feet because my lower back is still very stiff, and that's the only way I can really describe it. It's not exactly like a pain. It's very dull if there is any pain right now. But I'm gonna plan on staying on top of my Percocet and my Flexeril for the next couple of days. I think what worries me most is sleeping, the position I'll be sleeping in. But we have a nice couch that reclines and has lumbar support, so I'm going to be using that as well. So here's to day one. Like I said, I'm able to walk around, and I don't really feel much of the left leg, like radiating pain that I did before the surgery, but I've been told that the nerve needs to heal, and that might be something that I see coming around the corner here in the next few weeks, so I'll try to keep this updated. I'll try to keep taking videos. Maybe I'll do one every 5 days or something. But if this helps anybody, please leave a comment below. I'd be happy to answer any questions about my experience, maybe my advice. Although I am an RN, I'm not giving you medical advice. You have to talk to your doctor about anything that may pertain to you uniquely. So yeah, like, comment, whatever, send me a message, subscribe. I'm gonna try to keep up with you guys over the next months. As someone who is young and active, maybe there's someone out there who can relate to this. And if not, then, again, maybe I can help you out in other ways here. So thank you, and have a good one.